accidents attributed to poor occupational safety and health practices were approximated to be 337 million per year. There are 160 million reported cases of occupational diseases, with a third of these cases resulting at least 4 days absence from your work annually. So I don't think if you're a breadwinner, you want to be part of these statistics where you're away from your workplace, or you're somebody who is supposed to be working at height and a scaffold, and you now have to be put in a place where you're working in the office, basically not doing what you have been employed to do because of a workplace injury. So some of the results that from these accidents are employee absenteeism from work for prolonged duration. So this has a huge impact for HR. It, of course, leads to decreased productivity and performance, reduced revenue. So I'm addressing both us as employees and, of course, our decision makers. Additional costs for compensation by firms. In the household, some of the effects include increased dependency on other household members. So if you're the breadwinner, maybe you had chosen that one of you will be working from home. If you're the one who gets injured or if you die, you know, we've also had cases of people losing their lives in KPC. Then the other person has to be the breadwinner or running or now having to generate 2 incomes as opposed to 1. So it's actually a bigger problem than many take it to be. Such losses, both economic and familial, can be avoided. What we say is accidents are preventable. And that's why when we're doing this soccer awareness, for you to point out an unsafe condition, unsafe act, or a near miss before it turns into an accident that could lead to a first aid case, that could lead to a medical treatment case, or eventually lead to a fatality, it's just in the effort of promoting a good safety culture and an environment that is safe for all. So don't walk around and see an unsafe condition and think it's not your problem. It's a safety person's problem. It's your problem, because it could be you who will come tomorrow and find that same hazard and trip and get injured. It could be your colleague. It could be your wife coming to visit you in the office. So safety is your problem in as much as everybody else's. So we actually have the Constitution of Kenya, of course, aligned with the ILO regulations, and we have bodies that actually look into occupational health and safety issues. So for those of you who know OSHA, OSHA is the body that actually is mandated to govern issues relating to occupational health and safety. So I don't want to go too much into it because I think today we have some good speakers who will elaborate further on what I was saying. Mine was just to introduce to you what World Health and Safety Day is all about. So basically, please, if you didn't take anything from this whole week, just remember, safety is your right, but it's also your responsibility. It's not the safety department, it's not your MD, it's not your supervisor. It is your right and it is your responsibility. And as from the goodies that we have given each one of you, we hope everybody has gotten something. For those maybe if you've not, I think they're still giving out there. Please note on the bottle or the books or the keychains that people have gotten, it says act safe and be safe. But all in all, we just want to invite you as stakeholders of KPC to join us in celebrating this very special occasion of World Safety and Health Day. But take a moment also to just realize that some people have died in the course of their duty this year, and you don't want to be that statistic. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Caro. For those serving, serve bila kelele. Public intellectuals have flagged out 7 habits that are a recipe for chaos. The 7 habits are: 1, religion without sacrifice. That if you have religion, there has to be some element of sacrifice for it to work. Number 2 is commerce without morality. That in any commercial activity you undertake, it has to be mediated by some moral standards. Number 3 is pleasure without conscience. That you just plunge yourself into pleasures of this world without considering the repercussions. Number 4 is knowledge without character. That however much you go to school, some character to define you are going to school has to be exhibited. I'll continue with the 3 after this. Meanwhile, Caro has been standing here and verbalizing some very important information. And I know for sure that in such a congregation, there are a number of selective listeners. Baada ya mandas, I want to reward those who are listening to Caro with something by asking 2 questions. The first question is so simple. And don't answer it if you're from HSC. My dear engineer, first lady, and your group, do not answer these questions. Give me those things. The first question is, when did KPC start marking the safety week? Hey, the question has been deferred. Deferred. Oh, there's an examination leak somewhere. We are trying, the Kenya National Examination Council is trying to come and be coming here. Question deferred. According to the International Labour Organization, how many people succumb to work-related injuries and diseases daily? Mandu? I didn't see you in Maseno, but you seem to be a bit brilliant. Come here. Pius, patia hii kifungu mufti na usiweke nini? Nilikwambia hata ile thermos. It is a water bottle, sio uji bottle. Thank you very much, Mr. Mandu. So listen, the second presentation will be a clip on safety, after which there are even bigger prizes to be won. So listen, there are two different ways of internalizing something. There is listening and hearing. There are 2 different words. Hearing is defined by scholars as reception of the stimuli by the cochlea. But listening is the comprehension and interpretation of a stimuli by the cochlea with a view of getting a meaning. For instance, if a vehicle passed here, mtu atasema gari imepita. Huyo ni mtu ana listen, huyo mtu anasikia. He's hearing. But that who listens said, hiyo ni pujo. Hiyo ni pigiot. That person has listened beyond the noise. Nakasema ni pi? My friend, can we have the clip?
And airports. As earlier mentioned, safety comes first. This video is designed to give you an overview of our safety standards and procedures to keep in mind while at work. Due to the nature of our operations, our premises are considered as a high-risk operations area. We will give you some guidance on how to behave while at work in an environment that is hazardous. As part of our safety procedures, it is mandatory for all our contractor personnel, including subcontractors, to undergo this KPC safety induction course before you can be granted access to the areas you will be working in. The Kenya Pipeline Company Limited, KPC, is a state corporation established by the Kenyan government in 1973. The main task of the company was to construct a pipeline system to transport refined petroleum products from Mombasa to Nairobi. In 1978, the first batch of refined petroleum products arrived by pipeline from Mombasa to the company's terminal in Nairobi's industrial area. KPC's core business is to transport refined white petroleum products on behalf of the major oil dealers. About 95% of all white oil consumed locally is transported through the pipeline network, and about 90% of the export market passes through the Kenya's port of Mombasa. The network of pipelines is centrally controlled and monitored 24 hours a day at the Nairobi Terminal Depot. Our pipeline infrastructure consists of 1,342 kilometers of multi-product pipeline and associated facilities. There are two major pipelines in place, including the Mombasa-Nairobi pipeline and the Western Kenya pipeline extension, which connects Nairobi with Kisumu and Nairobi and Eldoret. Across the country, KPC has a total of 8 storage facilities, including at port and airports. As earlier mentioned, the KPC premises are a hazardous area due to the nature of the products that we handle and store. A fire is one of the biggest safety threats, but not the only one. Therefore, KPC has done all efforts to minimize any fire risks within its premises. One example is the demarcation of our facility into 4 different zones based on the presence of flammable vapors. There is Zone 0, Zone 1, Zone 2, and the non-hazardous areas. Zone 0 is the area where flammable gases or vapors are continuously present or for long periods of time under normal operating conditions. Examples include vapor space above the petroleum product in the top of a tank or oil-water separator, or petroleum product storage drums. Zone 1 is the area where flammable gases or vapors are likely to exist under normal operating conditions. For example, the area above the tank vents and hatches and the oil-water separator, or sumps and trenches where product is likely to accumulate. Zone 2 is the area where flammable gases, vapors or liquids are not likely to exist under normal operating conditions. This includes, for example, the area around the tanks covered by the bund wall on all sides up to the height of the bund wall, 7.5 meters from the pit wall around the oil-water separator up to a height of 1 meter from the ground, and the area outside the bund wall up to the tank farm or the fencing of the plant area. Lastly, the non-hazardous area or safe area is the area where flammable gases or vapors are not expected to be present. For example, the office areas and generally outside the tank farm or plant areas are the safe areas. If during your visit you need to access zones 2, 1 or 0, you must strictly adhere to our safety standards and requirements. This requires that you shall be dressed in full safety gear, all the personal protective equipment or clothing, PPE, at all times, including safety shoes, a safety helmet, and a dust coat or overall. Within the KPC premises, there are 4 different types of safety signages. Each signage has its own distinct color. Safety signs are posted for the good of all in the work area. While inside the premises, please be aware of the signages and follow carefully their instructions. The green signages inform you about what to do in the event of an emergency. For example, in case of fire, break glass for key. Drinking or eating is not allowed in the area. Push to open emergency showers. Assemble at the emergency assembly point. The blue signages are warning signs and tell you what not to do, such as, in case of fire, do not use lifts. Danger zone. Live wires. Do not re-enter the building until authorized to do so. Use of PPE. Park as per takeoff position, and so on. The red-colored signages are prohibitive signs. For example, the maximum speed limit within KPC premises is 10 kilometers per hour. Do not use mobile phones in certain areas or when doing certain activities. Controlled access to certain areas, and so on. Lastly, we have the yellow signages that serve as warning signs, such as chemical or hazardous material storage areas, moving parts, keep clear, and so on. At KPC, we developed 10 life-saving rules which help to define the safety culture throughout our company. While you are at our premises, it is crucial for you to adhere to all of them. 1. Security check at entry roadblock and undergo a mandatory alcohol test. Once you arrive at our premises, security guards will carry out an inspection at the entrance. our premises are a drug and alcohol-free zone. All our contractors are requested to undergo a mandatory alcohol test. If you are under the influence of alcohol or drugs, which may cause impaired judgment and reactions, you will not be allowed to enter our facility. For truck drivers in particular, there is a distinct truck inspection, which includes a pre-entry and loading check. You will also be required to deposit at the gatehouse any weapon, cigarettes, lighters, and cameras. 2. Display your contractor's badge at all times. Before entering our facility, kindly report at the security desk to get your contractor's badge. Identify yourself either by your ID card or passport. As a contractor, you should prominently display your badge at all times. 3. Obtain your work permit before starting the work. All work undertaken at KPC is conducted in accordance with the Permit to Work system. Permits are mainly issued for any works that have the potential of causing a hazard and non-routine work where documented procedures have not been developed. KPC has a number of different permits, including Safety Clearance Certificate, Electrical Permit to Work, Hot Works Permit. You shall not commence any work until the appropriate permit has been issued. Once issued, you shall display it at the worksite as well as abide by and follow all the requirements stated in the permits. 4. Conduct daily and regular equipment checks. At KPC, we expect that all our contractors use tools and equipment that are certified and in compliance with our standards. Before any work can start, the KPC supervisor attached to the work will ensure that all equipment and tools used by the contractor are in good working condition. 5. Have a toolbox stock. A toolbox stock is critical and should be held before any work starts, as the talk equips workers with specific work-related safety issues such as potential hazards, controls, and safe work practices. Toolbox talks should be held at the beginning of every shift, kept short, and conducted at the worksite. 6. Wear your personal protective equipment or clothing. Contractors and staff are required to wear their personal protective equipment or clothing, or PPE, for every work that has a potential to cause a hazard. Different jobs require different PPEs. The basic PPE requirement in KPC consists of safety shoes, a safety helmet, and a dust coat or overall. No work can commence without all workers having the relevant PPE. 7. Comply with the special works requirements. There are certain works or equipment that demand special considerations before any work can start. Lifting equipment and air receivers should be accompanied by a valid Government of Kenya plant inspection certificate. Tank and interceptor cleaning will require a certificate of good health before work is allowed to commence. Some specialized works will require a job safety analysis. Hot works in Zone 0, 1 and 2 will require a gas test. Confined space entry will require a special permit and authorization. 8. In the event of an emergency, follow your host's instructions. We limit as much as possible all risks for any emergency within our premises. There are different types of emergencies, such as an oil spill, a fire, or a personal injury. In the event of an emergency, you will hear this alarm. Wherever you are, you need to evacuate immediately using the emergency exits clearly labeled. Do not use any lifts. Use handrails while taking the stairs. Stay alert and keep your eyes on the path ahead of you. Contractors should assemble safely outside the gatehouse, account for their staff, and await further instructions. Any missing or injured contractor should be reported to the KPC Incident Commander or nearby security staff. 9. Report any unsafe act, unsafe condition, or incident. Contractors should report all incidents, dangerous occurrences, and near misses to a KPC safety officer as well as to the attached KPC supervisor. If you need to report an incident yourself, this is what you need to do. Alert the control room or break the glass of an alarm point as follows. 10. Keep your work environment clean and in order. During the performance of your work at KPC, keep your workplace neat and tidy. Waste should be kept in secured and segregated places awaiting disposal. Once you have completed the work or assignment, ensure that site reinstatement is done as follows. Clear all wastes, equipment, tools, and excess materials. Remove barricades from the work area. Backfill all excavations. Level all uneven ground. Return safety signs. Redraw road markings, and so on. Any site remediation required due to contractor's activities shall be his responsibility. One, security check at entry roadblock and undergo a mandatory alcohol test. 2. Display your contractor's badge at all times. 3. Obtain your work permit before starting the work. 4. Conduct daily and regular equipment checks. 5. Have a toolbox stock. 6. Wear your personal protective equipment or clothing. 7. Comply with the special works requirements. 8. In the event of an emergency, follow your host's instructions. 9. Report any unsafe act, unsafe condition, or incident. 10. Keep your work environment clean and in order. At KPC, our goal is to provide a safe working environment for all contractors to ensure that every person enjoys a safe working environment. We hope you will enjoy a safe and productive visit at Kenya Pipeline Company Limited.
Kama muonavyo nimejiami vilivyo na maswali kwa wanafunzi itaendelea wakati wowote kuanzia sasa. Nilivyoahidi kwamba kuna mambo matatu ambayo siku yataja as part of the behaviors that are a recipe for chaos. Number 5 is politics without principles. That any political activity has to be embellished with certain principles that guides it. Number 6 is religion without humanity. That even if you are executing religious activities, you've got to consider humanity as a factor in your endeavors. And number 7 is one that I will not mention because, is Lokoyan still here? No, I will not mention this. If Lokoyan is still around. Maswali kwa wanafunzi from the presentation. There are colors for safety. 4 predominant colors. Who knows them and what each stands for? That is the bone of contention. Gisore? Gisore, come and say them. 4 colors and what each one of them stands for.
The red one, danger. The green one, safety first. The amber, which means a warning.
Wewe wacha kelele bwana. Endelea.
Yeah, I think those are 3.
Umenoa, asante sana kwa kujaribu. Anybody else? Hapo ndio kuna Kiswahili mkuti kama si kizungu mkuti. Yes, young man, can you chukua kipaza sauti?
I'm trying, eh?
Don't try, say it.
Red, which is prohibitive, basically to prohibit you from accessing or from doing certain things. Green, which is to restrict you or to tell you things that you should do to be able to avoid an emergency. Blue, to tell you things that you should not do in case of an emergency. And then yellow is basically also prohibitive. Like hazardous materials, it will just tell you, it's for knowledge and to prohibit you from doing certain things.
No, just speak about, I got it. It's only that semantics inamchanganya kidogo. Lakini come for your reward, bwana. You have tried. Mpigeni makofi. The guy has tried. Mheshimiwa Mbembe, I will reward this guy. Come and reward him. Mr. Mbembe, come and reward this guy. Because he had lexicon challenges, but nevertheless, he tried. Because he's prohibitive twice. But prohibitive is applicable in this context once. Makofi kwake. Swali la pili. Niendelee ama nisiendelee? Makaratasi ya kufanya kazi katika bomba hili la mafuta ni matatu. Ukitaka kufanya kazi ili upewe makaratasi, idhini ya kufanya kazi, maarufu kwa lugha ya Kimombo kama permit. Unanielewa? Waswahili wasema permit, sio permit. Ni matatu katika shirika hili la bomba la mafuta. Yataje? Awe bwana, wacha zako bwana. Hebu kuja ujaribu.
There is the safety permit, there is the electrical permit, and the hot works permit.
Amepata yote bwana, lakini sikupi chochote. No, just come. Wendy, Jen, saidia yeye. Patia yeye kitabu. Lakini usiandike hapa when you went to unaitwa nini? Shakahola. Atende muongeze na hichi. Makofi kwake. At this moment, I'll call on our second presenter on the floor. And the guy needs very little or no introduction at all. He's a man who is very passionate about his work. He's a die-hard sycophant of safety issues, and with zeal and tenacity executed his responsibilities here to a level that I would confidently say have been unparalleled. Ladies and gentlemen, I call to the podium our former retired principal fire officer, Mr. Washington, D.C. Mbembe.
Jambo. Good afternoon. My name is Washington Mbembe, as you have heard, from Kashuja. What I would have liked to talk is about what we have already seen here, and it was self-explanatory. I don't have to repeat it there. This being a safety week, I would like also to talk about some real events which have happened here. Let me start with when the safety section started. I was employed in this KPC in 1988, and KPC, the company started around 1977, 78, somewhere there. And after being in operation for about 3 years, they got a serious fire here in 1982. 82, there was a very serious fire here. A whole tank burned. I don't know whether it was tank 201. I don't know, 201. 201 burned down completely. It was full of product. And the cause of fire of today, I don't know, but I was not here. But it was said that the tank was overfilled. It started overflowing with MSP. And the fumes spread further to Akela Amsa area, and it got fire. That fire was so huge that it actually threatened almost everybody here. They have never seen a big fire like that one. And as a result of that, the management of KPC, when they sat down after the fire, they decided that there must be a safety section to take control of all these things. There must be a man to be checking the equipment of firefighting here. The people must be now be made aware so that they know where they work from. They know they are working in a hazardous area. Otherwise, people were very few. When we came in 1988, people were very few. We will come here and we board a matter to go to Amsa for lunch. Some will come back, some will not come back. But some of us had to come back because of the nature of our duty. But others, we were left here every afternoon. I was left here with operation people and security officers. Lunch break was a break for everybody for the cleaners, administrators, they all go. And we are remaining here with only operation people, security, and me only, because I was the only one in the section. That's why I wanted to start from there so that you know where safety started and how far it has gone up to today. And in the process, I'll mention a few events, a few dangerous events that has occurred within my working period. I've worked here in 27 years before I retired 2016. Between this period, I have seen quite a number of dangerous instances, and I want to mention some which were a little bit threatening. That time, we didn't have a lot of instances because the system was not old. So we didn't have a lot of breakdowns. We didn't have a lot of maintenance people because there was very little to be maintained. The system was working. The controller will bring the product here and everything was okay. But as the system got aged, we started experiencing some problems because even human beings, a guy like me when you were old, you start feeling something scared, like you cannot run because you are old. The system got old, and we started getting a lot of maintenance problems. And that's how now, through the maintaining the system, we started getting instances. After 82 fire, the management decided that they should have one person they call a firefighter. I'm a fireman by profession. That is how I came here. I came because of 1982, they said they should have a fireman. And they forgot that even if you have one man, you cannot work alone. So I used to work. At the end of the year, I want to go leave. Well, you just pick somebody and say, no, you are going to take over and continue. One of the engineers, no, you are the person who's going to continue. You have to go and leave. You cannot work all the time. They say, no, we should increase these people. Firemen. When I was coming as a fireman, I thought that every day there will be a fire to fight, because now, what will I be doing? I must get some fire to fight, because I'm a fireman, and if there is no fire, what do you want me to be doing here? The system was not very bad. I found that the system was newly installed, very effective system, so I didn't have problems with the system. The machines were there, very nice ones, automated, KPC from the control room. You just put a switch, it goes up, call, controller, everything. It was very coordinating. But of late, things started getting worse. As we continued being busy, the pipeline became old, and now we need to maintain it even on the right of way, where pipelines corroded. You are supposed to go there, excavate it, see, you know it is corroding, anytime it's going to give in. And I remember the first incident, it was kilometer 29, it is in Marakani. That time it happened around, it was a Saturday. And it happened at night on Saturday. We were all gone. We didn't have standbys as you normally have now, leaving somebody there in case of emergency or anything. So Friday, we all left. Yeah, I went to my rural area. Everybody went away. Then pipeline gave in kilometer 29. We used to have MD, Mr. Botte. He was called in. He came, control room. He said, now, you people, what are you doing here? There is no flow here. Pipeline has given out. So what do you do? He took charge. And he went, there is a board there which had all the keys of pipeline vehicles. When you come, your name, keys, kilometer 29. Next, your name, keys, kilometer 29. Everybody was taken to kilometer 29. And they forgot that the equipment to repair the pipeline were in poor state. But here is a situation where you can't question. The chief executive officer is the one giving orders. The people who are supposed to be the engineers, there is nobody. He has come. There is a controller, chief executive officer, orders given. Kilometer 29. Go there, salvage the product. All the vehicles were kilometer 29. Everybody went to kilometer 29. You go to kilometer 29, you will think that you have a bazaar there of KPC vehicles. And the people there, just there watching the pool of product, MSP, all over. So when I came on Monday, I was told, baby, what are you doing here? MD is looking for you. I said, no, I don't report to MD. There is a pipe burst. I said, where? Kilometer 29. I came here. I met operation manager, Mr. Nyamu. He told me, baby, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be doing what? There is a pipe burst. What did they take? Nothing. The equipment are here. If you go there, there is nothing you're going to do. All the tanks are here, salvage tanks. Everything you're supposed to do to take is left here. People have gone to kilometer 29. I'm saying this because it is safety. You learn through mistakes, and when you do those mistakes, now you improve and you become better. Like now, you are better people. That has happened in, I don't know which year, but I can remember the incident. Kilometer 29. The first incident, KPC pipe gave in. It was a very serious incident. Another incident I witnessed, and this is what you are saying, sometimes in safety, you have to be very careful. You can lose lives, and it's terrible. We were repairing the same pipeline, line 1, in an area called Kibandasara. It's near Mazeras. We excavated the whole areas, and we had a contractor, Zakim. They were excavating areas there, the different areas where pipeline has already been detected, is corroded, it has to be repaired. And as they were excavating another area, water table in those areas is very dear. So if you don't know how you are going to do the hole where people are going to work on, it might collapse and cover the people there. We killed 3 guys, sacrificed them there. One of them, we had a very main house, and I was concentrating on the particular area where we have hot works, but the contractor is still excavating other areas. So all of a sudden, as we are doing here, and everything is flattened. Guys were buried alive. 3. We went there, removed them. One of them, the Mbavu collapsed. We lost all of them. Why? Because the people who were excavating were not committing enough. You're supposed to make a V-shaped thing so that the soil doesn't collapse there and you keep quiet. We lost 3 of them there. Those were small instances. Another time, a contractor was given work in PS9 to clean the tank. I don't know where now. They cleaned the tank very successfully. They handed the tank to Kenya Pipeline, and we started operating very correctly. But after years, we discovered that a fellow has been boxed there. Many years. Just intact. After the next cleaning section of the same tank, they found the team which was here. They boxed a fellow inside there. He has been living there. That became a puzzle. I don't know whether they didn't know which contractor, they didn't know the name of the person, there was no complaint. That one disappeared that way. That was PS9. These are live instances which I have witnessed working in KPC within the last 27 years. And that's why when I was working here, I was very serious. I don't flex laws. Just do the way you are supposed to do things. Because alive is alive. How do you feel if you lose your life? Behave the same when you are taking care of somebody's life. Life is alive. So don't give any chance. Do your best, leave the rest to God, and then you'll succeed. The other time we were just here, and this one happened the other day. It was a very serious one. Just PS10 here. A gasket gave in. Most of you people were here. Now, the product ikaspilled. It filled the bad wall, ikaenda kabisa, ikaingia on the draining system. It flowed to our Mukuru area here. We have many people there. And the people did know, when they noticed that there is a flow of product, they started fighting for it. I had a very good team here, firefighters. Not really firefighters team, which you are training from the staff, and especially those staff who are in the technical, because they're always there. When you have a team that can do work nicely, you can save a situation. That one we lost and saved. I would say that. We saved the depot. We lost the people in Mukuru. We saved the depot. The fire did not come because the product was flowing from our depot to Mukuru, and of course it was super. My people worked very well. I always say, thank God. That was the biggest instance I've ever seen in KPC, where product is flowing, and more is flowing from the pipe. I don't know how to stop it. It has gone to the Mukuru area. People are fighting for the same product there, with their mitungis running to their houses. Somebody else running to his house with the mitungis. I want to salvage as many as possible. This is ready money. And somebody else kept smoking. Now you'd like also to get his product, his share, because it is free for all. And in the process, poof, the fire started. It burnt all those people who were near there, including those who had taken some of their product running to their houses, because the super will follow them. Inaingia kwa nyumba, inakuta mama huko na bibi na watoto wanaenda. They were cleared more than 100 people here in Mukuru. I remember Madam Lucy tulienda pale nikamwambia, who? Can you see, these are people of gold. Makaa wameungua. I asked her, are you strong enough? And I'm oh yes, she is very strong. We went there and showed her. Look, it's 10. Now you can go the other side. That is enough. People burned. We saved the depot. We lost the people in Mukuru. Why? we handle petroleum product highly flammable. And when people are talking of safety, I think it should be taken very seriously. From that, then it became a puzzle to me, because now anything small, people run away, thinking that they are going to die again. Now you are now to start again training people. Not every incident will be like the other one you saw. When somebody sees somebody, it's not easy to forget. So it was even here, a small alarm, people, they run away, they go home. I was now wondering, how would we work here? We have seen one incident that threatened all of us, and we have to continue working. I don't know. Ukiraise alarm kidogo, you want to inform them something, you want to do something, you want to review an incident, there is nobody. When I talk, including, the unfortunate part of it is that, including my managers, they disappear. Now, I could not understand now, how do I operate? It was difficult to me. After that incident, it was just a small incident, serious one, people lost a life, we saved the depot. We used all the form that we had here. In fact, some guys were putting form on the system, such that when you stir it, you stir the form there and it forms. It blocks the system completely. We could not, the fire could not come to our depot here. We saved the depot. But did we really save? We lost the people. That is people's life. It was very bad to me. Even today, I can remember that incident. These are some of the things I'm seeing. So what I have seen here, a proper explanation of what you're supposed to do, checks, everything that you're supposed to do before you do work in area 0, area 1, area 2. This should be strictly followed, because they save a situation, they save life. Another incident I saw, we were tying in Nini? Huh? There are shippers here. Hash shippers here. And operation people, as they normally do, they clean the system. And I told them before we start welding here, please make sure that you fill the pipe with water, so that gas will not accumulate, because you are going to use fire in connecting our system to hash at their depot there. It took us 3 days, 4th day. They said it's okay, now you can continue. We said now, before you do any hot work, that somebody was talking about permits to work, hot work permits, all those ones have to be filled. And a QC person has to come and satisfy that the area is safe. Now you can introduce any sparking. But in the process, we had hired and qualified welders. And as they normally do, when they are outside there, they have a way, they test their system. You strike kidogo too, one like the current is flowing. So as you are waiting for the QC man to come and satisfy the situation that we can weld, another guy said, can we not be ready? Let's be ready, but hebu angalia kama system inakuja, just strike a bit to test. Before the Q person gives a permission to do, there was a guy who was now ready to come and test kidogo. And I told them, I had one guy called Mwiro. Mwiro, have you seen people dead? These people, the way they are behaving here, you will see people dying here. They are going to die today. So what do? Be ready. Put this thing ready. Set it highest level where you can pour form 200 liters per minute. They are going to die, these people. And luckily he did it. These people, I don't trust them. And then I stepped around there. Then all of a sudden, a guy come. They talking in Kiswahili. Stwadaga. Stua the system, just strike kidogo tuone. Tukiambiwa tu now, start. Current is flowing. That spark was enough. Like you see, mass person did not even come. To do what? People had burned. Wow, pooh! I saw everybody flying. Miro was smart. He saved the guy. You could see everybody was coming. It looked like a pakwa snow, foam. That saved them. I didn't lose anybody, but we were to lose all of them. Why? A welder started to test the system, and the testing is introducing a spark. When you introduce that small spark, it's just enough. You don't have to weld for a long period so that fire will come. You just need a spark with MSP, and then you are gone. That one, I missed losing people that way. Another incident, it was in PS8. PS8, I don't know what gave in. The operation people know, and MSP was going high, and it comes down as a fork. Now, because of the pressure, we could not stop the product. And it was raining MSP, a very big area, bigger than this HQ. And we were there. Thank God there was no smoke, there was no sparking. You would not have seen me today, including my managers and everybody who was around there, plus the neighbors. That one, we managed it because there was nobody who introduced a sparking there. You just needed a spark, a small one, tap, and then you are done. Same PS8 as you come here, we went to repair now, where actually that was a vandalism issue. Guys had gone there and they vandalized the pipe, and they were called at night. We went there and found that, wow, the area is soaked with MSP. MSP is flowing all over. And what do? You first of all stop the flow. Then from there now, you can now find a way of how you are going to make the area safe so that you repair. As you are doing that, we discovered it very well. We saved the product. We salvaged all the product. And QC person said, oh, no. This area is not safe for welding. You put your explosimeter, you put your system, they tell you no. This is a higher. Don't attempt. Our MD came with the operation manager. There was crisis of product here. And he said, you know, if this batch of this cell gets finished, you will not get a chance of repairing here because the other batch will come as, I don't know how many, you people want, you know, how long does it take to get another batch of this cell from Mombasa for there so that you can repair? So what do we do? Akasema, MD gave an order. As I listen, I was my boss here, chief mechanical engineer, chief safety engineer, me, I was there with my team, and I say, I want to hear tomorrow that thing is repaired. And they went there, chopper, up. So what do? An order has been given. We went to small Kamkonji. We could not agree. Like me, I said no, because I don't want to lose anybody. The mechanical engineer, chief mechanical engineer, chief civil engineer, they said, we can do it. Baby, set your system ready. We are going to repair here. Okay. I had Mwiro again. Mwiro, have you seen people dead? These are going to go again. These ones. When I say, we don't have this kind of order when you are. They are going to go. He told me, whatever. Keep your vehicle upwind there. Aim it there. They are going to go. They set everything, nini, nini. Then they went in. Just a spark. I saw everybody overboard. A bluish fire which came. Miro was ready. He cleared the fire, he cleared the people, the manager, and everything. Mukaoga form. Then we kept quiet. 15 minutes, nobody's talking. Everybody has run out. We organized again, came back. We kept quiet, came back. Can we continue? Nobody answered. Because now, I'm asking the obvious. They have seen it. When you are overruled on obvious issue, and you are talking of life, you better be sacked. Say no. Who do I lose? If it were me, and I know they are going to go. And anybody who is there, we will go. Utaenda tu, ile few minatoka pale, you will get another very serious fire, and you will go. So these are some of the incidents I've witnessed. I've witnessed during my working period of 27 years here. And I was saying, this being a safety week, we learn through these incidences. We make sure that we don't get this kind of incidents by observing safety rules, safety regulations, safety, everything safety must be there. And especially when you are working in an area like KPC depots, KPC installation, because you don't deal with anything else other than the petroleum products, which are highly flammable. These are my experiences here. As I was living here, I was confident that we have a very serious team backing the safety system. They have taken this system to higher levels. I don't expect these serious incidents to come again. With those few comments, may I close there and say good afternoon.
We can do better than that. Let's give Mr. Mbembe a real round of applause. Washington Mbembe, when did you retire from KPC? 2016. How many years are those? 7. 7 solid years. And you can see Mbembe is flourishing. Anangarangara. Do you know, in any given society, including where we are, there are only 3 kinds of people. They are the poor, the rich, and the wealthy. The poor spend. The rich save. The wealthy invest. Choose G now, where you want to fall. Mbembe is wealthy. He has invested. Look, he looks younger than when he was here. This young man. I didn't see you in Lancaster. Yeah. Choose now. But he has a chronological event of happenings here. Is Brady Cherono here? She's not. Because I remember Cherono very well during the Mukuru fire. She abandoned everything in the office, found herself on Mombasa Road with 1 pair of shoes, and blisters all over 1 foot, limping, you know. She realized that she had blisters when she was in Mombasa Road. No money, no nothing. Now you want to beg people for 20 bob, upande matatu, because you can't walk any other. And people are looking at you, you are smartly dressed, but what happened to your shoe? My brothers and sisters, the Mukuru incident, those who are here. But as they say, those are yesterday functions. Those are yesterday's events. And they say, yesterday is a past paper. Today is a newspaper. Tomorrow is a question paper. Therefore, let's forget about the past paper, which is yesterday, work hard on the newspaper of today to secure the question paper of tomorrow. Praise the Lord. Maswali kwa wanafunzi. Swali la kwanza litakuwa swali moja tu. Mr. Mbembe was very clear. The first incident is so here. Where was it? When was it? And what happened? When in terms of day? John Kiburi. Kuja uchukue kipaza sauti.
Nice to see you, Mr. Bembe. You're looking younger than I remember you. Oh, maybe I'm growing old. 1982, I think was the year, because I remember there was the coup. So that's why it's stuck in my head. And there was overflow. It went high, 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 and then overspilled. Then I think a property there it was during June, July, it was cold. Alikuwa kiota moto. Fumes ikawaka. What else?
Which day was it?
Which day?
Day, he's mentioned the day.
It was a sunny day.
Go and sit down. Go and sit down. Sit down. Mtoto mkorofi. Justa Mberia. Kuja.
The first one was in kilometer 29, and it was a Saturday.
Very good. Mpigeni makofi. Kuja uchukue zawadi. I will give you a very small one. Bwana Kimayos. Kuja upatie wewe. Don't choose what I'm giving you. I am giving you a simple question. A simple question. Tabasamu kidogo. Thank you. Now, I want to put it to your notice that the MD will be here with us in the next 30 minutes. So let's be patient with him. He's on the way. She's just texted and said he's coming. The next speaker on the floor will be, order. The next speaker on the floor will be our legal officer, an upcoming barrister. You know, these are the people who are very proud. They call themselves learned friends, as if others just go to school. My learned senior, my learned friend. Edith Kemunto. Edith. Learned friend. Makofi kwake. An upcoming barrister.
Good morning, good afternoon. My name is Edith Kemunto, as you've been told. So today I want to take you through the legal framework governing health, safety, and environmental laws that are applicable to KPC. As we know, our core business is very risky, and we really need to be in compliance with the law to ensure that our staff are well protected, and the company as well, considering the business that we deal with. Safety is key in KPC because of the nature of our business, as I've said. We have in the past experienced incidents that have left distractions in the wake, including injuries and more so loss of life, as we've been told. We've had incidents like Sidindi and Sinai. Those are the major oil spillage incidents we can think about. But we also have the minor incidents within the organization, the staff getting injured, personal injuries, or such kind of stuff. So the major law, as we all know, the Constitution is the major law. So the Constitution guides or provides through the Bill of Rights that every citizen has a right to fair labor practices, reasonable working conditions, and clean and healthy environment. So your employer is required by the law to provide for you a safe working environment. Then we are all aware of WIBA. As a staff of KPC, you should know about that. That's Work Injury Benefits Act 2007. So WIBA was enacted to guarantee the compensation of workers for injuries that arise while they are working, and also for health conditions contracted in the course of their employment. This act is indispensable for both employers and employees because it provides guidelines on how employees are to be compensated and when claims of compensation may be turned down. So it gives you the guideline. You should familiarize yourself with it so you can be able to know if your injury or whatever you're going through is something that can be compensated as per the WIBA laws. Is there payment? The questions that might arise from, you might ask from the WIBA Act. Is there payment to an employee when an accident/injury happens at a workplace? So WIBA provides for compensation to employees for work-related injuries and diseases contracted in the course of their employment and for connected purposes. Under the Act, an employee who is involved in an accident resulting in the employee's disablement, subject to the provision of this Act, is entitled to benefit. The liability falls squarely on the employer, but you have to prove that your injury was, that there are rules to that process. Also, can I, as an employee, report occupational accidents and diseases? Yes, as an employee, you're required to report any accident that occurs during employment. Your employer is also required to report any report any accident to the relevant authorities. And this is a law, by the way. If your employer does not report within the stipulated timelines or does not report, they commit an offense as per the law. So they should always be in compliance. I hope safety, you do that, you make these reports. Then the Employment Act provides that where an employee is during the course of his employment killed or incapacitated by injury for a period exceeding 3 days, his employer shall, as soon as practicable, send to the labor office or if there is no labor office, to county commissioner a report in the prescribed form. I also hope that's done. Then our fourth law is the Occupational Safety and Health Act 2007. It gives us the duties of the employer with regards to health and safety. I'll just highlight some of the duties that are major. The employer is required to maintain workplace in a condition that is safe and without risks to health, and provide and maintain necessary means to access from it that are safe and without risks to health. To also inform all employees of any risks from new technologies and imminent danger. I don't know if we do that. Ensure that every person employed participates in the application and review of safety and health measures. We do that by when you do the soccer reporting, you're being introduced or made to be able to apply the health and safety measures. Carry out appropriate risk assessments. Take immediate steps to stop any operation or activity where there is an imminent and serious danger. Register their workplace unless such workplace is exempted from registration. And then there are duties to employees. Some of the duties that are important to note: ensure his own safety, health, and that of others. So you know when you notice a situation that falls under soccer and you do not report, it hasn't affected you. And someone else might come the next day and they get affected by that situation because you did not report. So it's so important for us to do that. It's a requirement by the law for us to be able to do that. At all times, wear or use any protective equipment or clothing provided by the employer. Comply with the safety and health procedures, requirements, and instructions. report any accident or incident to your immediate supervisor. We, as KPC, we do that through SOCA as well. Report to his supervisor any accident or injury that arises in the course or in connection with his work. An employee who contravenes, now here is where the law comes in, an employee who contravenes the provisions of this act commit an offense and shall, on conviction, be liable to a fine not exceeding 50,000 or to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 3 months. Were you guys aware when you do not report soccer, you are committing a crime? So I hope moving forward you know that. How can I, as a worker, get protective clothing and appliances? So Section 101 of the Occupational Safety and Health Act requires that in workplaces where employees are exposed to wet or to an injurious or offensive substance, the employers must provide and maintain clothing and appliances that are adequate, effective, and suitably protective. So under this act as well, we get duty to report any dangerous situation. Every employee shall report to the immediate supervisor any situation which the employee has reasonable grounds to believe presents an imminent or serious danger to the employees. It shall be an offense for a person on whom a duty is imposed under this section to fail to carry out that duty. Under our Petroleum Act, it also gives us a guidelines on reporting of incidents and accidents. It outlines emergency preparedness. It also outlines compliance with the environmental health and safety laws. And it finally also outlines community rights. So in the case of oil spillage in Koru or Tange, among others, as well as damage to properties during construction of our pipeline, it guides us on how to be able to compensate the community in such events. So the measures we've taken, as governed by the law, is that during construction, KPC ensures that the contractors take out insurance, the contractor's all-risk policy, for purposes of compensation or where the unfortunate event occurs. So can my employer terminate the employment or withhold any of my remuneration if I, as a worker, remove myself from danger? The law provides that if you feel like a situation or your working environment is not safe and you've brought this up to your employer and nothing is done, you are allowed to leave the situation. So if it means you leave and go home, as long as you've taken the right measures to inform your employer and nothing is being done. So you shouldn't be punished on grounds that you left your work environment because you felt like it was not safe and you informed your employer of the same. So they're not supposed to withhold your remuneration or punish you for that situation. Another law that we have is the National Occupation Safety and Health Policy. It established national occupation safety and health systems and programs designed to improve workplace environment. Last but not least, we have the Environmental Management and Coordination Act that basically gives us guidelines on compliance with NEMA and such other bodies. So those are the laws we have or we use as KPC to ensure health and safety is complied with, and we have it within our organization. My parting shots today will be, ignorance of the law is not an excuse. So you all need to familiarize yourself with the laws applicable. So you also get to know your rights whenever something happens. And finally, better safe than sorry. So safety is important. Thank you very much.
Let's give a real round of applause. But do you people know there is a very stark difference between a lawyer and an advocate? Do you know that? Do you know that, Kellen? Who is a lawyer and who is an advocate? A lawyer is anybody who has studied law, has a degree in law. But an advocate is one who has studied law and has admitted to the bar, not to drink, to the bar, to practice the art of law. That means they have gone to the Kenya School of Law. She is not a lawyer, she is not an advocate, but a barrister. A barrister. Consult your thesaurus. But by the way, what you've presented is a very emotive subject matter. But more often than not, you lawyers, let me stand corrected on this, are preoccupied with what we call puritanical interpretation and philosophical application of the laws and tenets, peripherying the real issues. When you invoke sections like what do you call it? Doctrine of approximate cause clause. Why you are trying to find a way why I should not pay. Wacha ubaraduli. Our next speaker, ladies and gentlemen, will be an expert in an area trends of workers' injuries and claims and legal provision. Once the barrister has presented that, there would be no better person to embellish it other than the insurance. And we have Mr. Timothy Karonga from Sedgwick Insurance. Mr. Timothy, uwanja ni wako. Sedgwick. Is that the right pronunciation? Yes. Tupige makofi anapokuja. Thank you.
Asante sana, Bwana MC. Thank you. We are delighted to be here. My name is not Timothy. Timothy is that gentleman who is sitting there. He's my assistant. My name is Sami Kiragu. I'm the principal officer or the managing director. Maybe you will explain the difference between principal officer, CEO, all those things. But I represent Sedgwick here, and we are very, very, very privileged to have been invited here on this auspicious day to mark the World Safety Day. And we are really moved by what we've seen in the management of KPC, the emphasis that they have put on matters safety. Safety. Extremely, extremely, very, very, very important from where you sit, not just in the workplace. I like it when Mr. Mbembe here was mentioning all those things about we saved the depot, but we lost people out there. And really that has been our experience, that it is not just workplace here, but KPC from where you sit, that your operations touch on so many people out there by the nature of the operations that you do. Now, having said that, sitting here, we are supposed to give an insurance perspective. And again, I say we are privileged because we have been in association with KPC for very, very many years. I wish to confirm for those very, very many years, I'm happy to see Flora come a long, long, long way. All those incidents, including the 1982, we have those files in our offices. So the causes and all those things, they are there. We have gone through the Sinai incident. We are there. We were also Kiboko. I think your story ended somewhere, 2016. After 2016, there was also Kiboko, which I'm sure everybody is aware of. So all those incidents, at least we have a perspective we can give from an insurance part of it, how it affects you people, the safety of the organization, how it impacts not only yourself, but generally everybody out there. And I want to say, I have to limit myself to issues insurance. I think we have been given the legal framework on which safety issues are embedded in the Constitution, in the laws of Kenya. All that have been mentioned. And most importantly, I want just to limit myself to the Work Injuries Benefit Acts, which was put in place in 2008. And just to give a background that before 2008, what law used to be there before that act, because it was a new act of parliament. We used to have something called, can anybody remember, in the House before the Work Injuries Benefit Act? What used to be there? Spencer Kariuki, I know he's been around for quite some time. But there was something called Workmen Compensation Act, which now Work Injuries Act succeeded that, came and took over from the Workmen Compensation Act. Why Workmen Compensation? It was an old statute borrowed from English laws. At that time, it was addressing workers in an organization. And the workman was defined. Within statutes, have to be below a certain level of earnings. So in a nutshell, we can say the law then didn't really cover everybody in an organization. Matters insurance. So you could have injuries, but not everybody was compensated. And if they were compensated, there was even a scale which was to be applied. So the Work Injuries Benefit Act 208 was very transformational because it made it compulsory that employers, they have to compensate employees for losses suffered during workplace. And the scope was also increased because beyond injuries, normal injuries, and those normal injuries a lot of time used to arise from workplaces, mostly factories, industries, for the workers. So, but now the act, we see that the act itself expanded that to cover not only injuries, but also occupational illnesses. So safety at work is very, very, very important. And what we are saying here is a fundamental principle and a right at work. Just to emphasize, I know this has been said very many times during the week that we've been marking this, but I want to commend again KPC, because I'm not sure very many employers, maybe you are 1% or 2%, who remember that this is a World Safety Day and have actually taken time to observe this. Hapo makofi sana to management and KPC. Really, that is extremely, extremely commendable, and it is a tradition. I hear that it was started in 2017, and it is a tradition that should be kept, because that way safety is a continuous process. If you drop the ball, and I think that have come out very, very clearly, it is between negligence or something like that, between that and a tragedy, a spark. We was talking about a spark. A spark, makes a difference between that and the next tragedy. Those tragedies, they have been there and we have been involved in them, and I can tell you they are not easy. And our observation from where we sit is that KPC have done fairly well, because the issues we have actually dealt with most of the time are to do with what we call third parties out there. You could have lost a few people in the process, but most of the impacts that we have seen, the environmental impacts, affects the public. So in fact, my emphasis is safety for KPC. It is not only for KPC, it is for the public good, it is for the citizenry, it is for everybody. Just to insist that you must keep up that spirit. Now, insurance, how does now insurance come in? Insurance comes in between now what you do in terms of maintaining the safety. In fact, we come in, is it fortunately or unfortunately? When the incident have already happened. Compensation is done when the incident have already happened. Maybe you have already lost a life. So we are talking about compensation. Somebody is injured, the events have happened. So that's where we sit. And our role is basically to make sure that compensation, as enshrined in the Constitution, as provided, is taken care of. And what we need to confirm is that KPC is compliant. They have taken the policy, what is called work injuries benefit, otherwise known as WIBA. And WIBA purely covers you while you are working, occupational related, while you are working. That's how WIBA, in its very scope, it is supposed to cover you while you are working. That is very, very important. But KPC, in addition to that, have gone a step further to enhance the cover so that even while you're at home, there is cover. Actually, what used to happen before WIBA, there was workman compensation, and then there was a group personal accident, which is not a right. It is a benefit. It is a benefit which the company decided whether to give or not to give. So, but the covers which are here for the time being, it is called WIBA GPA, meaning it will cover employees while they are working or not working. And that have really helped to make sure that issues, a lot of cases are compensated for. Including the new trends that have come up, what is a workplace? We have had that debate, especially during the COVID time. What is a workplace? A lot of us used to work at home, isn't it? And you are not at KPC. Within the scope of the cover, will there be a compensation? So those were the kind of discussion that we were having. But as long as it can be proven that you are working, compensation is provided. And just like I was saying, our scope all right, but MC, I was wondering whether to continue. I have seen the MD have arrived. Karibu sana. PS, thank you very much. We are going on with the program, and we are giving an insurance perspective about issues to do with the theme of the day, about safety. And what I was just explaining too is just to commend KPC for the measures and for the commitment they have shown, marking the day throughout the week, which with a celebration, can I say a celebration of what we have done for the day. And what I was trying to explain is that insurance will come in to compensate employees when the incident have already happened. But in between the time the incident occurs and the time we are called now to come in, it is the safety measures that you put in place. And from insurance perspective, we are able to tell. If the safety conditions are very, very good, you will have very few incidences, you have very little claims, and then you will not have issues. From an insurance side, we are there to make sure when now those incidences, when those losses happen, that insurance is there to make sure that compensation is received. And the most important thing is the process. Now the process of compensation. it is in the best interest that when incidents do happen, they are reported in good time. There is a mechanism internally through which all incidences, I believe, they are reported. They are reported, all incidences, even likely to give rise to a claim, they are reported. Likely to give rise to a claim, they are reported. Likely, I'm saying likely because not all of them may lead to a payable claim, but they should be reported so that they are in our books. Why am I saying this? We have seen cases where an incident happened. It looked very simple incident, but with time, it developed into something else. Maybe a disease or a complication. But since you didn't report, then there can be an issue. So we said all incidences likely to give rise to a claim, they must be reported. Because our case is just to keep record and to make sure payments are done. I must mention that there are timelines given on reporting claims. As much as possible, they should be reported within even say 48 hours. That they should be reported to us. And then we take care. From the perspective of injury claims, work injury claim, the files are kept open. For as long as the law requires that the file should be kept open for as long as 7 years. The law prescribes a period with which those claims must be reported. So the responsibility on KPC is to make sure that injury claims are reported within that time. It also put a responsibilities on insurer. If all documents have to be received, they should be settled within 90. They should be reported within 90 days. So it is very important that KPC continues to work. Number one, ensure. And maybe this is sometimes why we are, do I say misunderstood? Because I say we come in when the claim have already happened. So if safety is very good, probably, very good, there are no claims. Are we going to be happy or not happy? We are going to be happy because we have done a very good job. There are no incidents, there are no claims to be paid. Yeah? But then the insurers will say, do we need insurance? And we are not getting claims paid. Insurance is there in the event that it happens. And they do happen. In an organization like this, whether we like it or not, incidences will happen. You cannot be 100% sure that you reach a level where you say, our safety measures are 100% compliant. I don't think so. I don't think so. What will happen is that you'll have very few incidences in between. Then you are profiled very well. With time, the premiums which you have been paying because of a very good claims experience reduces. And these are statistics we have across the board that throughout a year, the premiums for KPC, despite assets going up, despite employees' numbers increasing, in spite of your good earnings going up, you see, premiums are at a very reasonable level. So that is very, very, very commendable. And from where we sit, we want to commit that all claims will receive utmost attention. The mandate we have as brokers, we are not underwriters, we are not CICs of this world, we are not UAP, we are not, is to make sure that everything is done within that time. In the interest of time, I want to say that all matters related to insurance, we are there to help you and really to work very, very, very closely to you. And beyond matters insurance, we would like a situation where now we are going beyond just safety measures. I think now the conversation is about general wellness so that our workplace is safe for our own good and for the good of everyone. So thank you very, very much. With those remarks, thank you very much for the opportunity. Asanteni sana. Thank you.
Let's give him a real round of applause. Thank you very much, Sedgwick, for that presentation. Bwana PS and Bwana MD, we have been having some schooling moments here in which after every presentation we were asking questions. And this is a congregation of very brilliant minds. I had a large suite of books here that have been taken away with people giving very succinct answers to them. But because the PS is here and I do not want any of you to look like you did not get anything, I will defer that for a moment. And I will, I want to save on your face, particularly Lokoyan. And I therefore would like to call to the podium our acting SHE manager, Engineer Lucy Karaoke, to give her remarks. Let's welcome with a round of applause.
Thank you. There are two remaining here, so I am sure it's true you have deferred the questions. Two more presents. Bwana PS, Bwana Birik, the MD, all protocols observed, my colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Good afternoon. I am excited because of you coming, that's number one. Number two, of the honor we have gotten on a Friday late afternoon that the PS has come all the way from a very lengthy meeting to come and grace our occasion here. We feel honored, and thank you, MD, for on my behalf. We feel honored, and we feel that you really respect KPC. And for me, as the head of safety and my team right there, we say thank you for coming. We do not want to take so much time. I want to appreciate all those who have been here. We have had many people, and on behalf of everyone else, I would want to appreciate our retired fire safety officer. Maybe Bembe can just stand and maybe just greet. Fire safety officer, he has given us the history of safety. From no safety, 1982 there was fire. They began a safety department with one person who was employed to a department that has many, many people. That shows the appreciation of management and the board on the place of safety in KPC. And he has told us how things have moved and we have learned from our incidences. And I will just say that we are in a place where we have many hazards. And in safety, we say there's hierarchy of hazard control. Number one is elimination. Can we eliminate dealing with our hazardous materials? We cannot. So the second one is to substitute from a high flammable material to a lower one, maybe to go into water or to a lesser hazard. That we cannot do because then we will not be doing our mandate. The third one is engineering control. You know what we have done in engineering control. The fourth in that hierarchy is administrative control. And the last one is PPE. If you don't take anything, just take that and know your position as KPC employees in terms of controlling. And all of us have been called. So without further ado, allow me to welcome the MD. We are very, very grateful. Bwana MD, you have supported us as a department and we feel supported. Is it, can my team confirm that we feel honored and supported by you, the MD? So karibu sana, you give your remark and you invite the PS for us. Asante.
Good. Bwana PS, Mohamed Liban, on behalf of the board, Bwana Director Birik, and colleagues, good afternoon. Mkoaje? Sincere apologies. We really kept you waiting. We had a long meeting that started early in the morning. We were hoping we'll finish by midday. I kept chatting with Lucy. I told her we'll be there by around 1 o'clock, and then we kept pushing it. So thank you so much for the patience. You guys have been great. And today has been a very important day. It's the World Safety Day. On 28th of April every year, we do celebrate this day. And as an organization, given the nature of the product that we are dealing with, it's so close and so dear to us. And it's great to see people like Pembe talking about the experience over the years from 1982. So thank you so much for coming. As you all know, a safe work environment is a productive environment, because that means there are less accidents, there are less incidents, and as Kenya Pipeline, we are in that category. We've invested a lot in terms of our systems and processes, our risk assessment. Every equipment we buy today, we do have a safety component in it, which is great. We start our meetings, when appears, with a safety moment. Every meeting we have, we always have a safety moment in Kenya Pipeline. Any new employee is taken through a safety induction. Therefore, the theme for today, which is a safe working environment, is a fundamental principle and right at the workplace. So it resonates so well with us as a corporation. And I must thank you so much for making sure that we do everything safely. We play by the book, and we ensure that we maintain the standards that are very high. And as your team leader, at least today I'm addressing you as the MD. The last time I addressed you was the acting. So your AG imeanguka. And we must thank the PS. Pana PS, Pana Birik, asanteni sana. You have a great team here. For the peers to come on a Friday afternoon, when it is raining, when there is traffic jam, and the place you are going is industrial area. That means a lot. Let's appreciate. Let's also appreciate our director on behalf of the board, Director Birik. And shortly, I'll be giving them a chance to say a word or two. So the commitment I'm giving you is we lead by example. I've seen the executive team here, Bias is here, Flora, and the extended management team. Maureen is there, we have Jane, Caxton. The commitment we are giving as a top leadership is we are going to lead by example. So if you see any one of us making a safety mistake, please correct us. Nobody has a monopoly of knowledge, and we are learning each and every day to make this place a better place than we all found. So on behalf of the management team, we'd like to really appreciate our board of directors for the guidance, for the support. The chair of the board has passed her regards. She's out of Nairobi. She'll have been here with us. That shows how important these days, right at the board level, at the ministry level, the board level, and as well as the management. There's a special team I'd really like to appreciate, and these are the ERT, the Emergency Response Team. This team, we were with them on Wednesday, and we saw the level of preparedness that they have. What I was very impressed about with this team is the fact that they are not safety employees. In fact, majority of them are, we have an electrical engineer in there, but because of the commitment and the sacrifice that they've given this company, I would like to really ask them to stand so that we can appreciate you. The ERC team, if you are here. We appreciate that team. I can see Mandu there. There's Angelique, there's Owino. There is, Jack, yes. Mondo. Owiti, of course, and my sister there. Mwai. That's the team. And shortly, I think we'll be able to appreciate you in a very, very special way for what you've done. When we were discussing with Lucy, we agreed that since this day is a very special day for all of us, I don't know whether Lucy has shared this with you. We bought you guys a bottle. Ashi. And a nice book. Isimuringa now. Muonyeshe kidogo. Well done. Everybody has received? Let's say thank you to management. So thank you so much. I think because it's a Friday, it's been raining. I'll not take a lot of your time. But once again, it's to appreciate you. And may God bless you. May God keep you. May God be with you. On that note, I'd like to request on behalf of the board for our director, Birik, to come and just give us some words of wisdom and guidance. Remember, board is policy. And for him to have come, he didn't even know about this. So after our session, we told him, Director, no, you have to come. And he said, Joe, there is no request, I'll say no to you. That is the level of trust that he has for us. Director Birik, karibu sana.
Thank you very much. Thank you, MD Josang, our chief guest, Mohammed Liban, the Principal Secretary, State Department for Petroleum, senior officials and staff of KPC, good afternoon. So when I was in secondary school, we had a literature set book called Government Inspector, authored by Nikolai Gogol. For those of you who have read that book, the real government inspector is none other than my peers today. I am a director, but a director representing him. That's what I mean. So first and foremost is to thank KPC for celebrating, of course, this day that is dedicated to safety and security. So we know and understand that KPC is a critical national investment that indeed needs to be secured against all threats. And the threats are many. Right from what we have seen previously to what happened, of course, recently in Kisumu. So mine is to just very briefly urge you, continue to scan your environment 24/7 so that our infrastructure is intact, our infrastructures are safe. Tumelewana? So, ikiwa boss yangu iko hapa, sitaki kuongeza mingi, but we'll work with you very closely. Joe, congratulations. I'm sure more good things you will do to KPC. And at this juncture, can I invite my boss? May I take this opportunity to welcome the PS Petroleum to grace the occasion. PS sir.
The Managing Director, Josang, my alternate director representing me in the KPC, Birik Mohammed, my PA who is with me, Zakaria, the management, staff, good afternoon. I know today is Friday, We are approaching the weekend. And on top of that one, we have got another bonus there for, for May, Labor Day. So you have got 3 days to rest for those people who have not been on job. And we have delayed you because yesterday when I was just doing a letter to invite Joe to come for the meeting this morning, the letter had not reached him. It was just on my desk. And then while I was just trying to sort myself out, he gave me a call that I'm supposed to grace this occasion in the morning. Then I told him, I'll come for the occasion, but already there's a big task for you before we do the gracing. So I told him, just push this one to the afternoon because we are working on a fuel development plan. So you mnaelewa sio? And we have called several partners to join us. And then we thought maybe we can finish by midday. And we are not able to go through it. Still, the Kenya joint venture, they were there in Europe. So we are also zooming with them from there. So because of that technicality, we are unable to come on time. But all in all, better late than never, we are here. So having said this, the reason why actually we delayed to even start the meeting in the morning is because we had a very crucial task to do in the morning. You know, Joe is very active, very vibrant. He was always pushing me. When we were in Mombasa recently, I know this great team were working on enhancement of our pipelines. Sinukweli, a new invention that is able to accommodate our product in the system. So having achieved that, then he told me that there's one problem. The evacuation of this product out of the pipelines. And that one needs money for the OMCs to make sure that they have capacity, to do that. And at the same time, he was able, So since that time, money we get it from Exchequer and have to push, the National Treasury to make sure that they'll get something. So fortunately, I got the money yesterday, 4.2 billion for OMCs. And I was trying to sort out this morning to make sure that payment is done today, so that they'll be able to push, and also for the pipeline to have the product. And that is why we have delayed. We are sorry for that. At least we are here after we are finished. In fact, after this, I've got another 2 meetings, and then I have to go back and sort out the emergencies in the office. So I might stay late in the evening. So having said this, I like to mention 2 people. One is Joe. Joe, I don't want to say so much about him. He's a good guy, vibrant, focused. And if you get, somebody who can match your capacity, ukiitwa sasa utakata namna gani? So up to last week, he was acting in acting capacity. Unajua ukiwa captain capacity unakalia na upande moja na upande moja iko juu. Sitaki kusema maneno mengi juu hiyo. Tafakari hayo. But now, hizo zote zimetolewa, and he can now sit properly to make proper decision. Congratulations. And I'm sure he's equal to the task, and you can take, this organization to the highest level of development. So I'm happy to be working with you as your peers for the Ministry of Energy and Petroleum, in particular the State Department of Petroleum. Congratulations and all the best. It is not you to you, and I'm sure you can carry these people mbele sana, and I'll be there, to support you. Secondly is Mr. Birik. Mr. Birik is administrator. In fact, he's a second person commanding in the department. And with all that experience, Joe talked to me one time. He said that I wanted to restructure KPC, and please try to assist me. And then I said, whatever you want, just do a letter to me. And the Brick was as a director alternate in NOC. And with NOC, we don't have much work to do. And then I said, why can't it be utilized to team up, with the directors who are here, so that he can push you forward to the best level we can. I know he's competent. That is also why Birik is here as a director and also as my second person in the department. These are the two guys I want to talk about. I know today you are celebrating the safety and health. Safety and health. But before I come to that, I want to call upon two people. Lucy, come here. I'm not asking you questions. Why am I saying Lucy? Anytime I had a function, in the KPC, either here, Mombasa, or Kisumu, the first person usually, grace the occasion is Lucy. And Lucy is in line, with safety and health. So that becomes, a norm for you people, why you are concerned with safety and health of your environment. And always when I'm thinking about health and safety, I'm just remembering Lucy. That congratulations for this girl. Okay. I'll sit down. Then I saw on this side there are people with the reflectors and na kofia. Ebuku japa mojenu. Whoever has the full uniform, the boot, the reflector. Yes, kuja. The first time I was appointed, I think my first visit was at this place. And after I actually went to the office of the MD, I signed the books and have some discussion. I was taken round. So I was not the way I am now, so I was given the boot. So I was wondering where I was going, either to the farm or something else. Then I was given the reflector for visibility. And of course with your logo on. And then the hard cap, the helmet. That one also symbolizes what you are doing. Thank you. Just have a seat. Thirdly, I just went around, I saw the products you are using. The petrol products. It's not water. It's not air. It is something that you need to nurture like your baby. If in any eventualities, it can cause a lot of havoc. So, I find that what you are doing is not easy. And wherever I was going, there's always lock and key, security, remove your telephone, this and that. That is how important your product is, as we are doing. Then the fourth one, about the product, was about the safety. Okay, I can't remember the other one. What does this one show? It shows that this day, today, is basically the day you are celebrating about safety and health. All this is what I've mentioned. The talk from Lucy, the way you are wearing, you are telling yourself. 3, the product you are using. All these ones needs safety and health. Healthy means the well-being of the staff, physically, emotionally, socially. Why is it so important? It is important because when you're talking about the organization are the human beings. It is you people who can deliver. So your health is important. It is important for 2 things. Because the environment you are working in needs healthy workforce to do the work. Healthy workforce produce quality work, quality services, progressively. That is why it is concerned. Because most of the diseases that occur from the environment, like now, the situation you are in, is either related to the physical injury. That is why you are having helmet and the boot. It can be as a result of chemicals, the product you are using. It could be because of biological. Either you're also dealing with the laboratories, the testing and whatever, chemicals. Okay? So for these purposes, you need the environment for the staff to be taken care of. I think that is why you are celebrating this day as a very important milestone for this particular organization. So if the safety is threatened, you go to hospital. Then for hospital, you need money. I think that is why when I just came in, I saw, the insurance guys was here to make sure that now from the illness, you go back to healthy environment to produce more. So that is also very important for the KPC, for the pipeline, to put those insurance, for the staff, so that for both inpatient, for outpatient, for the staff, so that you grow together as a family. So this day is crucial. The World Day of Safety and Health at Work is a day celebrated internationally on 28 April of every year, which is today. And I've actually mentioned this on why it's important to you as far as the staff is concerned. It is championed by the International Labour Organization, who began to observe this day in 2003. In Kenya today, it is championed by the Directorate of Occupational Safety and Health Services under the Ministry of Labour and Social Protection. You remember that on 1st of the next month, we'll be celebrating the Labour Day, which is also in relation to this. So the theme for this year, 2023, is a safe and healthy working environment. Safe, healthy working environment as a fundamental principle and right at work. So, being an employee, the satisfaction is not only salary. The satisfaction is the environment you are working in. If you have got at home and you have got that appetite of coming to work, that it is the environment that is pulling you to do that. But if you don't have that particular appetite, hata nikienda nyumbani ama kazini, the day will be too long, you will be displaced and whatever. That means the environment is not accommodative. If you don't get the support from your leadership, if you don't get support from the management, or if the working condition is not good, you won't be happy. Hata kama ukipatia pesa mingi milioni moja per month, it won't satisfy you. What satisfies you is the safety environment at work. So in order to have a safe and healthy working environment, all key stakeholders must be involved, the government, the employers, and the employees, so that they can work together to make sure that we have a safe environment. The government has ensured that every workforce is free of any hazards, the one I earlier mentioned, and employees are protected by laying down standards. Of course, these standards are actually put within your performance contract, isn't it? Okay? Some of these services are registrations of workplaces and plant, carrying out of workplace inspections and audits, administration of Work Injury Benefit Act, among others. So employers have a duty to ensure a safe working environment. Kenya Pipeline Company, as a company, has done its part by installing systems and programs, as MD has mentioned earlier, with full support from the Ministry of Energy and Petroleum. I think we can protect and make sure that our environment is safe, not only for Kenya pipeline staff, but it is cross-cutting to entire departments of the ministry in this country. In conclusion, therefore, employees also have a responsibility, like the other stakeholders, to do their part in ensuring that their work environment is safe by abiding to the set rules, regulations regarding safety and health. With those few words, I wish you all safe and healthy environment. Thank you so much.
Let's appreciate once more Director Bwana PS. Thank you so much. We'd like to appreciate also the team from KOT2, PS14. We have guys in Maungu, Konsa, all the PS9, to Western Kenya, Nakuru, Eldoret, and Kisumu. We really appreciate you. So at this point in time, I think Lucy will, oh, sorry. I didn't know there was, this is my mic. We have a master of ceremony.
Thank you. Let's give it to the MD. And I want to tell the MD one thing. That there's a saying that every setback is a setup for a comeback. Lucy, it's your time to reward those who are listed. There are a number of people who did very well, and we need them to be rewarded, so we'll call upon the director, the permanent secretary, Joe, the MD, and other senior management to reward the following.
Asante sana. I would request my team to bring the presents here. Bwana PS, thank you. Our director, Birek, and Joe. We have people. Yes. We appreciate that every staff plays a role. As PS has said, your role, as much as safety and health is a right, it is a right that comes with a responsibility, and our responsibility is to abide to the set rules and regulations. So we all appreciate, all of us, for how you plug in to ensure health and safety. However, we have picked up or picked out some people who have done exemplary well in supporting health and safety in different categories. Some are in these stations, PS10, HQ. So for those are the ones who will come here to receive. But we have others in their respective stations, and as they were doing their celebrations today, because this celebration is being done in all our stations, and we are live. We are being seen live in all our stations. So I believe because some of the stations held theirs earlier, and as they wait for us to be able to screen, they were able to be awarded in their respective stations. So the first category, there's a program we have that helps us in prevention that we call SOCA. SOCA is Safety Observations and Corrective Action. It is an online system that helps an employee when you spot something that is not safe. You go online and you report it. It goes to the respective departments and it is closed out. So every staff has in their performance contracting a target to report at least once per month a SOCA, and you will not miss a SOCA. SOCA is either an unsafe act, an unsafe condition, or an unsafe, a near miss that you're about to fall. If this wire was loosely hanging here without being taped, I would have picked it as a SOCA, because then it becomes an unsafe condition, and when people are passing, they can trip. So there's that category of people who have reported the most in the system. It's online, you just logged in, and we were able to outline all those who have reported. And we have a category. We started from management. I think Joe said we will lead by example. And in absentia, the GM who has reported the most is Zilpa Abongo. Let's give her a clap. I don't know whether there is someone from her department or from her directorate who can receive on her behalf. Let's have Agina receive on behalf of their GM. This is a voucher we are giving. We are giving a supermarket voucher. We would request our peers, I think this is the highest, our peers to come and give awards in this category, because it is you as a staff, that is your contribution. So Zilpa, a voucher of 5,000 shillings on behalf of Zilpa Ambongo. Photo session. Beautiful. As they take the photo, it is a coincidence, and it means that Zilpa has cascaded. For managers, the manager who has reported the most is one of the managers in that department, in that directorate, called Grace Njoroge. Let's give Grace Njoroge. She has reported 7 soccers. I'm sure you are trying to get one. Grace has spotted 7 soccers and has reported 7 soccer. Asante sana, Grace. Oh, photo session. Grace Njoroge, a voucher, 4,000 shillings. Thank you, Grace. We have Nelson Labaino, reported the most in HQ. Is he there? Anyone from the department? From Mayog? Anyone from Mayog? Let someone receive on behalf of Nelson Lambaino 14 soccers, and he's in Mayog. You do not have a reason, and you're the one who works in Tank Farm. We have Albrian Maundu. Anyone in projects? They are all away and out, including their GM. We have Njoki Kamweru. Imagine she is in the switch room and she has reported soccers. So you have no reason. Let's appreciate Njoki. Who shall receive admin? Njoki is in admin. We have the admin manager receiving, or Kellen receiving on behalf of Njoki. She has reported 6. And the other one is Emma. Emma Uimbia. Same in that. So Kellen, you can still receive for Emma. Kellen, just receive for Emma. In recognition, and I know they have also received in their respective stations. We have the operations people. We have Eliud Chege, reported 17. PS, asante sana. The others are in the interstations, and I know they have received. Asante sana. Eliud Chege, 17. Caleb Maritime at PS 14. Wesley, PS 12. Daniel Ambongo, PS 1. Frederick Ogano, PS 25. Muhammad Nul, PS 28. Onesmus Mwasingo, PS 1. And Rashid Munegwa, PS 14. Let's all appreciate them. The second category, we want to recognize teams that are ERT team members, the ones that had been appreciated earlier. And this team, I would request our director to come and give them some award. The first one is Bernard Mandu from PS10, followed by Swale Ali. I'll call you so that you come in. Jackie Nyambene, Peter Owino, Jacob Opondo, Benia Kulundu, Enos Muito, Mercy Wesitula, Wycliffe Mahinda, and Karen Okinda. Thank you. That is Mandu. Mandu, thank you, thank you. We have Peter Owino. We have Peter Owino. In there, there is a bag. They can put the bag the other way, because this bag we want, as you carry backpack, people will read, act safe and be safe. Asante sana. There is Jacob Opondo. Sorry, Jack Nyambere, sorry for that. Then Jacob Opondo. There are other list of 47 we have appreciated from other respective stations. Thank you very much, the director. The last one, the same, that team is led by very dedicated health and safety. So we are recognizing the most consistent that have gone beyond their normal call of duty. They are all in all the stations, but we will call the PS10 one to come and receive, and we request our MD, Joe Sang, to come and appreciate. We have Kennedy Owiti, quickly, Ben Alogo, Peter Kituku, Betty Kipse, and Ruth Bet. Allow me to talk about the two ladies. They have done exemplary well. That shows that even ladies can do what men do better. And we really, really appreciate this team. I am sure this team has served you in one way or another. Let's appreciate them. We have, the first one is Ruth Bet. Asante sana, Ruth. We have Ruth. Asante sana. Can we appreciate them? We have Betty Kipse. Asante sana. Peter Kituku. They have been led by their team leader, Kennedy Owiti. A new staff who has come and quickly has got it. He's less than one year old in KPC and has led that team. Asante sana. Let's have Angelica Mutua, who is also a very dedicated ER team. Sorry, I think I skipped your name, Angelica. Dedicated ERT team member from HQ. Women can do it. So ladies, join the ERT teams. I think we have only 2 ladies, Angelica and 1 more. And the last, Asante sana, one MD. The last team that we would want to recognize is actually the most consistent HSC committee meeting. Bwana PS, tutakuomba tu ukuje tena, utusaidie kupe hawa watu. Health and Safety Committee is the committee that is tasked by law to be able to carry out inspection quarterly, and also if there's any incident, they will investigate and tell us the investigation. So we have HSC committees in all our stations. And we will appreciate the PS10 and HQ. George Ajowi, Obadia Karaoke, Jane Ikwigu, Stella Warigia, mostly are in technical, Florence Kulei, David Cheriot, Francis Moturi, Warigia is here, Francis Moturi, Helen Gishuru, who is the chair, Waligia, thank you. We have Helen Gishuru, who is the chair of HSC Committee HQ. Salvador Agina, Caro Motiso, and Fred Otieno. Let's appreciate Helen. She's the chair, and she's really tough on that team. Really tough. Agina and Fred Otieno and Caro Motiso. So we will keep for those who are not there, and we will be able to give them. And finally, Asante Bana PS, I think others are not in. Finally, in this, there are many HSC issues. There are people that the criteria for award was most reliable staff in HSC matters, consistent in responding to emergencies outside KPC or within KPC. They have been called at night and they will come. Remarkable performance over the years, not once, over the years, and supported Safety Week activities. Number one, Mandu. We cannot miss Mandu. Mandu is called Bwana MD. Hii ni watu wako sasa. Appreciate them. Mandu will be called at night. Mandu will be called at night. The present for Mandu will be called in the morning on a Sunday. He actually comes to be on standby. When we go for Christmas, he said, I will be able to remain in Nairobi. In case of an emergency, I will do it. Thank you very much, Mandu. We have Christopher Cherugon. We said in our safety soccer, the soccer is online, Bwana MD. You are able to see all those who have closed. The manager that is lagging, I wish we were able to call from below. But for today, let's call from above. Next time, Maureen anacheka procurement iko na kidogo sana na haja. She hasn't closed. So tutafanya list of shame first and then list, yes. Then Odhiambo Robert, is he here? We have Agnes Mbuvi. Agnes saved us in one day. There was a spill on an OWS and she went beyond a call of duty to save us from having a leakage outside. We have Ann Karaoke. Ann Karaoke has sorted us in all electrical issues. Close out. We have Hosea Baraza in electrical. I am sure these people are outside there. We have Faith Oreta. Joseph Ombok, very dedicated fire marshal at PS10. Andrew Koskei. We have Angelica Motua again. We call her anytime she is available. Thank you very much. And in the same, we have Salvador. Nani alitrainiwa na Salvador on chemical safety? Chemical safety, Salvador. Asante sana. You have your students here. Asante sana. And Jane Moai. We have Jane Moai. Jane Moai, dedicated electrical. Anything happens, you call her Jane Moai. There's a socket out there. She will come out and do it. Asante sana. I think Asante sana, MD, sit down. Asante. So, last and not least, we want to appreciate our visitors who have come to grace this occasion. I will call my team to give you. We have Dennis, we have Carol, and we have Immaculate. Kindly come. The first, we want to appreciate you, MD. You have really supported us. These things are from, has a budget. And for you to operate safety, you have to have a budget. PPEs you have given us, you have supported us in a way. We say thank you in a very, very special way. So I would request Carol to appreciate you, to say thank you. Carol is our Chief Environment Officer. You have missed that hug. There is a hug that was missed. Ndio hiyo sasa. Photo session. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We have our director. Yes. Yes. Hey, thank you. Hizo bottles ni za kusema hatutaki kuona plastic. Ndio maana tumepeana, the bottles are not plastic water bottles. So we are keeping off plastics in KPC. Tafadhali. But there's one thing that people said, that zitaibiwa, ukiacha yako hivi vibaya inaenda. Because they are alike. So if you leave yours somewhere, you will be sure that it will go. I would request our director, Birik. Thank you for coming. We really appreciate, and I will give you this as a sign that we appreciate the board for the support that you have given us. So I would request Immaculate to give you something. Asante sana, asante sana. Thank you, thank you. We would want to appreciate the PS. You have been with us all through, not only this, but he's been available in most of our functions, and we really appreciate, we don't take it for granted. So I would request you rise up, and we request Dennis. Dennis is the acting senior officer in charge of Nairobi. Tafadhali. Asante to appreciate. Thank you, PS. Really, really, thank you. Okay. Hey, lazima itoke. But the bag is missing. The bag is not there. Dennis, let her back. Ah, beautiful. Yes, that way. Asante sana. Would want to request Washera. I'll talk about this lady, Washera. Sorry, Lisa. Lisa has been with us for the last 1 year. She was an intern, and she really, really did us good. So asante sana, Lisa. We would request you to give this gift to the PA, to the PS. Asante sana. Thank you. I would want to request Kennedy. Kennedy, uko wapi? Ukuje upe, you know you can be discussing Kennedy or WTS. Come. Najua watu wenye wanafanya firefighting, they might speak a whole sentence and you do not understand what they have said. So, wacha Kennedy ape Mr. Bembe. Ili waongee hiyo language yao, ya kusema ni firefighting, si ndio? You know, they're almost like a force. Wanaitangwa aje? Our askari. So, wacha Kennedy, who took over from Bembe. Actually, it is such. Muongee tusikie. Muongee yenyu tusikie. Asante. Then Caro, finally come and give to our two guests who came to speak to us. Sedwick, yes. Sedwick, karibu. Asante sana, tumeshukuru. Mmesikia all the legal issues on injury, WIBA, Work Injury Benefit Act. Asante sana. So I think we are done. The others will be getting theirs, those who have not been there. we will send them on your behalf. So asante sana. So I would want to take it back to Kashuja to complete this session. Asante.
Tumpigeni malufsi makofi ya kilo. Vile tulivyoanza tutamaliza vivyo hivyo kwa sababu Bwana PS, nafikiri kama kunaye mfanyikazi wa wizara ambaye hajawahi kukosa vikao vyetu ni Bwana PS. Tumpigeni makofi sana. Manake remember, today is his prayer day. It is raining. It is industrial area. It is jammy. But he still made time. Total dedication. I want to appreciate Bwana PS. Ningelipenda kurudisha shukrani kwa vikundi vifuatavyo kwa huduma ambazo wametupatia. Kwanza nilijaribu kuzungumza Kiswahili na hawa jamaa wakashikwa na butua, wakasema niseme Kizungu. Nikasema mimi sijui Kizungu, najua Kiingereza. Maana Kizungu na Kiingereza pia ni tofauti. Kizungu inazungumzwa uzunguni. Kireno ni Kizungu, Kifaransa Kizungu, Kijerumani Kizungu, hata Kiingereza pia ni Kizungu, lakini tunazungumza Kiingereza. Now I would like to thank the following institutions: Lensically Creative for providing live broadcast via YouTube. Please give him a round of applause. Vest Restaurant for the refreshment that we had here. I wish we spared something for our guests, but next time we will. I will give him a coffee. GeoJoy Limited for site decoration. The beautiful decors that we have here have been done by them. A coffee kwao. Epic Limited, Black Rivers Limited providing merchandise to KPC, the goodies that you have. Makofi kwao. The Sheikh Department, led by Lucy Karaoke, Carol Kiplagat, Dennis Azenga, Ibrahim Adan. Wapi Adan? Asante sana Bwana Adan. Ibrahim Adan, Felix Rono, Immaculate Musangi, Simon Rugut, Kennedy Owiti, Peter Kituku, Betty Kipse, and Ruth Bet. Makofi moja kwao. The departments outside the station: Isaac Mbuvi from Coast, makofi kwake, and Willie Kista Omondi from Western Region, makofi kwake. And kwa haya machache, ningelipenda now to give special thanks, first of all, to our permanent secretary, makofi kwake, for the dedication and provision of guidance to the institution. To our director, makofi. We feel terribly indebted to you for having found time to join us today. And to our, amesema AG meanguka. AG me? The collapse of AG into substantive position. Our able captain, Mr. Joe Sang. And on behalf, kwa niaba ya wafanyikazi wa shirika hili la bomba la mafuta almaarufu kama Kenya Pipeline, ningelipenda kuwashukuru wote ambao walipata muda na kujumuika nasi katika kikao hiki. Na kwa haya machache, and the powers conferred on me by Constitution, Section 2A, subsection A, Roman 1, I declare this meeting officially closed. Thank you. I'm reminded that we need to pray. We need to pray. Adan, I'm nominating you to come and pray for us. We are praying, please. Adan.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today I want to say it in Arabic, very short. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahmanir Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina siratal mustaqim. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Amen, amen, amen. Asanteni. Thank you.